From lands where there was no white man's law, they came with guns, shackles and chains, enslaving our ancestors from their sacred lands, forcing them to an island shore. Ochre, weapons, broken spears lay on the ceremonial grounds, disappear in the distance with cries from women with child as they are taken far away. Our people of the chain and shackles, many in deep waters drowned. This is Wadjemup, now known as Rottnest Island, a playground in the sun, a tourist attraction. From the rock crops of the Kimberley, the red desert sands, the giant forests of the south with braces of steel around their necks and hands. The chains rattled over Warra ground as men were forced to cross forbidden grounds, eyes closed over birthing sites, forced to cross other tribal spiritual lands. The land wept when they stumbled and fell. Our mother brought water to quench their thirst. She dried the blood from torn skin before they lay down for rest. She brought the aroma of wild flora that healed the mind so dreams were deep. She started the fires in their spiritual world, keeping their bodies warm, whilst in rock crops they laid as storms passed overhead, as the shackles were removed and left laying on the ground from those left dead. The island a mile away from the boat, the salt began to choke those from the desert lands who never saw oceans or shores as the chains rattled over the waves. More medals for the black tracker devils as the roundhouse gate slams locked. Freedom dies and slips away as our ancestors perish by genocide. Standing on the most massive shallow burial ground of our people who have died in custody, locked away by a death key. Our people of the chain and shackles, many in deep waters drowned. This is Wadjemup, now known as Rottnest Island, a playground in the sun, a tourist attraction. The morgue was sanctioned to remove the bones of the dead for biological study across the world. Our ancestors' footprints once walked the sands before the Ice Age washed them away. In shackles and chains, thousands of young boys and men were forced behind small limestone cell walls, confined like animals without beds, toilet buckets nor windows, just a slit in the wall for the flow of air. Our people of the chain and shackles, many in deep waters drowned. This is Wadjemup, now known as Rottnest Island, a playground in the sun, a tourist attraction. On the dark side of the island, many were shot by military guns and their bodies and bones burnt in fires on the coastline, a holocaust of a century of death in a spiritual place of final rest. Wadjemup, the name meaning in our mother's tongue, a place where the spirits dwell, a place where our great warriors fell, as the first nooses were seen in the morning sun. They were not prisoners captured for breaking the law. They were enslaved into a concentration camp of war. On the island still stands the Holy Church of the Trinity that will suffer the curse of the earth for what they did in the vicinity of the shallow burial grounds. This has become Rottnest Island, a playground in the sun where people holiday, sipping Chardonnay in the twilight of the day. A place of smiles and laughter with their feet relaxed by a sweet massager. Not knowing the history is hidden away, disrespected in the bliss of ignorance, commercialised by business interests as another tourist dollar generates a profit. As our old people's bodies perish beneath the earth in a holocaust of human tragedy, cataclysm in this, England's imperial prison, is a painful historical curse that will haunt your history and identity forevermore. Excited eyes as the ferry express arrives. Fun in the sun, scuba diving, bike riding, surfing, quokka-siding and five-star fine dining as people walk leisurely on blood-stained ground, buying souvenirs to hand around. Laying down to rest and sleep in accommodated beds in the very rooms of human suffering and death. In the distance, in the minds of dreams, it's all put aside with no reaction to the genocide. Our people of the chain and shackles, looking into their past through watery eyes, reflecting their pain on the blood-stained ground. Many in deep water drown, as the great whales carry their spirits to the distant campfires that glow in the great Cooranut, the place of death and final rest. May our campfires burn forever.